tonight.
She should be put before Sharia court and tried. She will face capital punishment.
She's not a Muslim.
Pam Geller under attack. So why is the Obama administration not doing anything to protect her from radical Islamists?
Did you reach out to the FBI?
I did.
And they have, the Homeland Security hasn't gotten a hold of you? The FBI hasn't gotten a hold of you?
No.
And she's back tonight along with Juan Williams.
Steve!
And liberalism is failing Baltimore. 2016 presidential candidate Dr. Ben Carson met with the city's community leaders earlier today.
It's always good to be back in Baltimore.
He's here with reaction. Plus, actress Sofia Vergara and her ex square off over their frozen embryos.
I don't want to allow this person to take more advantage of my career.
It has nothing to do whether that her baby or a baby. Lives were already created.
So who's right? Our panel tonight weighs in. And Tom Brady busted.
I mean, I feel like I've always played within the rules. I would never do anything to break the rules.
Could one of the NFL's biggest stars be suspended? Joe Theismann and Spencer Tillman weigh in. Hannity starts right here, right now.
Welcome to Hannity. Tonight, just days after Islamic terrorists targeted a cartoon contest in Garland, Texas, the organizer of that event, Pam Geller, came on this program to take on radical London Imam Anjen Choudary, who, as you'll see in this next clip, he called for Pam's death. Watch this.
Let's be absolutely clear. We're not talking about Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck. You're talking about people who deliberately had a competition to insult the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
To make cartoons.
If you saw the cartoons
so
that
you
were
support
drawn,
the death.
If you saw the cartoons, just bear with me, Sean. If you saw the cartoons that Charlie Hebdo drew, you would understand the anger. And now this woman wants to draw cartoons or have people draw cartoons to insult the Prophet, knowing full well that this carries the death penalty in Islam.
You want her to die?
You know what? She should be put before Sharia court and tried, and if found guilty, of course she will face capital punishment.
She's not a Muslim, Anjem.
I would retaliate if someone insulted my own mother, let alone the Prophet, who I adhere and, you know, I love 100 times more than my own family.
So if anybody says anything against your Prophet that you don't like,
someone if someone attacked his mother.
If you don't,
what about the Prophet?
If somebody says something about your Prophet that you don't like, you want them dead.
Any Prophet.
That fatwa that was issued against me, my name is preceded by Khanzir. Now, Khanzir means pig. It's the word Muhammad used before he slaughtered beheaded hundreds of Jews. Does anyone really think that these jihadis would have just been peaceful, loving Americans?
Okay, can I come back to that?
Of course they wouldn't. I submit to you that our conference saved...
Pamela...
no, I'm talking, sir. I know you're used to stepping over women, but you're not going to have it here, okay?
Pamela, first of all, the word khanzir I think is too good for you in the first place, you know. At least the khanzir worships Allah. The fact is that you insulted the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and obviously you knew the consequences. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had thousands of dollars worth of security.
I live in America.
When you talk about murdering,
when you talk about
murdering innocent
consequences.
People, the United States of America are the champions of murdering innocent people. That's not by the Muslims.
Pathetic.
We are the ones who are defending ourselves, Sean. Wake up. We defend ourselves in Syria, in Iraq, in Chechnya,
You're evil
in India,
and
in Kashmir.
All right, those threats from Choudary are probably the least of Pam Geller's concerns in light of the fatwa currently issued against her life by ISIS. And as of tonight, this threat is particularly concerning for Geller, given that neither the FBI nor the Department of Homeland Security has reached out to investigate this threat, much less offer protection for her in any way. Now, back with us is the person at the center of this entire situation, author, columnist Pamela Geller, as well as Fox News political analyst Juan Williams is with us. So you have not heard at all from the FBI?
No. I mean, we've extensively, you know, ramped up security. I have a huge security team now, and various, you know, I can't speak to what we're doing for obvious reasons. But no, and look, Sean, it's a terrorist threat, and you're right. They should have. I've reached out to them. They did not respond to any of my communications.
You know, Juan Williams, whether you like what Pam Geller, the contest she had or not, to me should be irrelevant. I hope you're not one of those I support free speech but liberals out there, because I'm hearing a lot of buts. We're talking about people that want to kill people over a cartoon, which in this country is absurd. Where do you stand on this? And where do you stand on the FBI being, you know, missing in action?
Well, look, I don't have any question in my mind. I'm someone who's been punished for speaking out of what I
defended
thought, you know, I appreciate it, Sean. So I don't have any question. I think a lot of it is distraction. I mean, journalists, legitimate journalists, cannot function even people who are satirical like Charlie Hebdo, in a world in which you are threatened with death for what you have to say. I will say this, though. I think if we want to have a serious conversation here about Miss Geller, that she's like a pyromaniac who goes before the judge and says, oh, yeah, I was setting those fires just to see how fast the fire department could respond.
You're taking the, well, she dressed provocatively, therefore she put herself in position. A position.
No.
Yeah, you are. It's the same thing, Juan.
No, I'm not.
You don't blame the victim of an attempted assassination.
There is... Sean, the victim is dead. In fact, the victim is the person who was trying to protect this event that Pam Geller put on quite intentionally. She intentionally was provocative in her actions. And, you know, it's quite different.
Don't offend the sensibilities of those that don't like cartoons. Don't offend the people that don't like a cartoon.
Let me finish this point. I think, no, there's a woman up in Seattle, Molly Norris. She's a political cartoonist. She was threatened. She's now in hiding, FBI protection. Why? Because the terrorists, the Muslims, have gone after her, the Islamists.
Well, wait a minute.
You know, you think about somebody like Salman Rushdie. He was doing literature. Pam Geller was doing nothing but intentionally trying to provoke this reaction.
Let me say it. Molly Norris had a Draw the Muhammad contest. What's the difference? Incendiary?
She was doing political cartoons.
I did not interrupt your ridiculous remarks.
You asked a question,
You're going to let me speak, sir. Incendiary? You know what is incendiary? The Jordanian pilot who was set on fire. That's incendiary. The idea that I'm provocative? No, murdering cartoonists is provocative. I held many free speech conferences. On the anniversary, on 2012, I held a free speech conference with Lawsville, a cartoonist. We weren't attacked because they're emboldened now. They're stronger now. What I find galling is that my motives are continually questioned by the media, not the jihadist motive, not the jihadist motive. My motives. What's a motive? What's a motive? Look at my work. For 10 years after 9/11, I have been opposing Sharia and jihad, period. It's the media that have created these myths about me. But I ask you, why hasn't the media addressed the motive behind the jihad?
Hang on.
I have yet to meet an American.
Why hasn't the media addressed
Let me jump in here.
One question. Why hasn't the media addressed the motive behind the jihadists?
Well, I want to get into that. And Juan, I want to throw this to you. If a little cartoon is going to set off people to go kill other people and try and assassinate them, then you've got to believe that anything will set them off. And I think this is part of what Pam was explaining here the other night. In other words, if the trigger is that short, they're going to attack us anyway. And we've got to be prepared that there are people that are so easily offended that this is the war that they are waging against us and our lifestyle and our way of life, and that we've got to be prepared that if they also don't like Jews, they don't like Christians. Radical Islamists don't like a lot of things. So if a cartoon will provoke them, they will be provoked, and there's nothing we're going to be able to say or do to stop them. And it's rather naive, I think, of people like you on the left to think you can stop them.
What are you talking about? We will stop them. I don't think the point is we have stopped them. The point is that you have to go out and wage very clear lines and say, we do not believe in Sharia law. We do not respect it. We're a country of civil constitutional laws, and you have a right to free speech in our country.
Juan. You can't say yes.
That's what I just said. Didn't I just say it to you? No. What I'm saying to you is, for instance, Pam Geller just a moment ago said, oh, they burned a pilot. The pilot was fighting a war. Those people acted in a barbaric fashion.
I'll give you an example.
But I'm fighting a war.
Let me finish. Someone who was following, someone who was pursuing a war. I thought you didn't like people interrupting you.
All right,
you just go over people. I think you are about self-promotion, Pam Geller. You're not about the real cause of free speech.
Let me stay focused here.
It's all about attacks against me.
5 years ago, there was a young girl, a Pakistan schoolgirl, who went to school knowing the threat. She got shot in the face. She ended up getting the Nobel Peace Prize. She knew there could be consequences, but she went anyway.
Yes.
And my point is,
she was getting an education.
Excuse me. My point is that
giving an education.
If a cartoon is going to set off somebody to kill, there's no negotiation there. There's no appeasing people that would react that way. And I think it's naive of you to think that if only we didn't have the cartoon contest, they would be nice to us. That's obscene to me.
Sean, listen, you have to engage and say, listen, this is not the way that we as Americans live. We do not believe in Sharia law.
You
but
do.
then to go and offend someone's
you are
faith.
Enforcing Sharia law. You are enforcing Sharia law. That's exactly what you're doing. By making
How are we doing that?
By making me the bad guy. It was not just a not just a contest.
Nobody,
you're not even informed. You are not even informed.
You are hurting.
Excuse me, sir.
I am hurting. Our cause is what you are doing. You are hurting people who say Sharia law is wrong.
I do not support your cause.
By generating sympathy for these people who are so crazy.
I got to leave it there. Thank you both. Appreciate it. A busy news night tonight here on Hannity and coming up.
When it comes to the persecution of Christians, we are talking about an extraordinarily urgent issue. We are talking about an international emergency.
All right, liberals freaking out over offending Muslims with a cartoon. Cardinal Timothy Dolan is taking a stand against actual religious persecution, radical Islamists that are slaughtering Christians. That's next, and also tonight.
I don't want to allow this person to take more advantage of my career and try to promote himself, get press.
A moral dilemma. Actress Sofia Vergara battles her ex-fiancé in the media over control of their frozen embryos. Plus, Tom Brady, is he in big trouble? His agent will join us to respond to the NFL's Deflategate investigation and more.
This program is brought to you by Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Hurry! There's a hot offer for heartburn sufferers. Now try Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com. Hurry! It's free this week only. No pill relieves heartburn faster. Get Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com.
Joseph A. Bank presents Look Sharp, Save Smart. Purchase one sport coat, receive a second sport coat.